20 things you didn't know about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is one of the most dominant and charismatic NBA superstars ever. He's larger than life in every way, standing 7 feet 1 inch and weighing 325 pounds during his playing days. He's known for breaking backboards, winning championships, and making everyone laugh. But behind the dunks and the jokes is one of the smartest businessmen in sports history with a $500 million empire. Fans usually only know Shaq from his on-court dominance and his funny personality on TV. So here are 20 things about Shaquille O'Neal you probably didn't know. Number 1. Shaq didn't know his real father until he was 11. Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal was born on March 6, 1972, in Newark, New Jersey, to Lucille O'Neal and Joe Toney. His biological father, Joe Toney, was a high school basketball star who was offered a scholarship to play at Seton Hall. But Toney struggled with drug addiction and was imprisoned for drug possession when Shaq was just an infant. When Toney was released from prison, he didn't resume a place in Shaq's life. Instead, he agreed to relinquish his parental rights to Shaq's stepfather, Philip Arthur Harrison, a career Army sergeant. For the first 11 years of his life, Shaq believed Philip Harrison was his biological father. It wasn't until Shaq was 11 years old that he discovered the truth. He noticed that his siblings had different last names, and small details began to betray the story he knew. The illusion held strong until those observations forced a conversation that changed everything. Shaq remained estranged from his biological father for decades, but later in life, after his stepfather passed away, his mother encouraged him to reconnect. The man who raised him, Philip Harrison, was the one who instilled discipline, structure, and toughness in young Shaq, qualities that would define his career. Number 2. Shaq's stepfather was an Army drill sergeant who disciplined him hard. Philip Harrison wasn't just Shaq's stepfather. He was a career Army Reserve sergeant who ran his household like a military base. Harrison was strict, disciplined, and demanded respect. He didn't tolerate excuses, laziness, or disrespect.
My father used to come into class and whoop me in front of everybody.
Growing up in a military family meant Shaq moved around constantly. The family was stationed in Germany for several years during Shaq's childhood, which is where his love for basketball truly began. Harrison would wake Shaq up early for workouts, push him to his limits, and teach him the mental toughness required to succeed. Shaq has said that his stepfather's discipline was crucial to his success. Harrison didn't let Shaq's size or talent make him soft. He made sure Shaq understood the value of hard work, commitment, and staying humble. Without that foundation, Shaq believes he never would have made it to the NBA. Even after Shaq became a superstar, Harrison remained a grounding force in his life. He kept Shaq humble, reminded him where he came from, and never let success go to his head. When Harrison passed away, Shaq was devastated, losing the man who shaped him into the person and player he became. Number 3. Shaq accidentally invested in Google and made a fortune. Here's one of the craziest investment stories you'll ever hear. In 1999, Shaq invested approximately $250,000 in a little startup called Google during its Series A funding round when the company was valued at just $100 million. But here's the wild part. Shaq says it was basically an accident. He was at a meeting, someone was talking about this new search engine company, and Shaq just said, "Sure, I'm in," without really understanding what he was investing in. That accidental investment is now worth an absolute fortune. Google is now valued at over $1.5 trillion. While the exact returns on Shaq's investment aren't public, financial analysts estimate that early Google investors saw returns of over 10,000%. That means Shaq's $250,000 investment could be worth tens of millions of dollars today. Shaq later admitted he didn't even know what Google did when he invested. He just trusted the people in the room and took a chance. Sometimes luck plays a role, but Shaq was smart enough to be in rooms where these opportunities existed. This investment taught Shaq an important lesson about early-stage tech investing, and it set him on a path to becoming one of the savviest athlete investors in history. Number 4. Shaq invested in Ring after buying it at Best Buy. This story perfectly captures Shaq's business instincts. In 2016, Shaq needed a security system for his house. A security company quoted him $80,000 to install a system. Shaq thought that was ridiculous, so he went to Best Buy and bought a Ring doorbell camera for a couple $100. He installed it himself, and when he was traveling in China, he was amazed that he could watch his house in real time from across the world. He thought, "This is incredible. Everyone needs this." So Shaq did what any smart businessman would do. He tracked down the Ring CEO Jamie Siminoff and said, "Hey, my name is Shaquille O'Neal. I want to invest in your company, and you're going to pay me to do commercials, and then whatever happens, happens." Siminoff agreed, and Shaq invested $1 million into Ring and became a spokesperson for the company. He promoted it on TV, in commercials, and helped make Ring a household name. A few years later, in 2018, Jeff Bezos and Amazon bought Ring for over $1 billion. Shaq's $1 million investment became worth many times that amount overnight. Shaq didn't invest because some Wall Street analyst told him to. He invested because he used the product, loved it, and believed in it. That's become his golden rule for investing. Number 5. Shaq learned his investment strategy from Jeff Bezos. After the Ring acquisition, Shaq had a meeting with Jeff Bezos, and Bezos shared his investment philosophy with him. Bezos told Shaq, "Only invest in things you understand and believe in. If you don't believe in it, don't even look at it." That advice changed everything for Shaq. He adopted a simple rule. He only invests in products and companies he actually uses and genuinely likes. Shaq says he won't invest in something just because someone tells him it's a good opportunity. He has to personally use it, test it, and believe it provides value. If he doesn't, he passes, no matter how good the pitch sounds. This philosophy has guided all of Shaq's successful investments. He invested in Ring because he used it. He invested in Google after using the search engine. He owns restaurant franchises because he loves the food. This approach might sound simple, but it's incredibly smart. Shaq invests in what he knows, which means he can spot good products and good management teams. And it's worked brilliantly. His net worth is estimated at $500 million, and much of that comes from these smart business decisions. Number 6. Shaq owns over 150 car washes. Most people know Shaq owns restaurants, but did you know he owns over 150 car washes across the United States? Shaq loves car washes because they're simple, consistent businesses with steady cash flow. People need to wash their cars, and it's a service that doesn't go out of style. Plus, car washes can be largely automated, which means less day-to-day management. It's a smart investment that generates passive income month after month, year after year. While flashier investments might get more headlines, these steady, boring businesses are often the most profitable over time. Shaq understands that building wealth isn't always about the sexiest investments, it's about diversification, steady income, and smart business fundamentals. Number 7. Shaq owns over 155 Guys Burgers restaurants. Shaq loves Five Guys Burgers. He's a customer. So, when he had the opportunity to invest in the franchise, it was an easy decision. He owns over 155 Guys locations across the country. He also owns 17 Auntie Anne's Pretzels, 1 Krispy Kreme franchise in Atlanta, and 40 24-hour fitness gyms. He's also invested in Papa John's Pizza, becoming a board member and brand ambassador after the company faced controversy. He helped turn the brand around and profited from it. But Shaq's crown jewel restaurant venture is Big Chicken, his own fast food chain that he founded. It started with 1 location in Las Vegas and has been expanding rapidly. The menu features chicken sandwiches, chicken tenders, and sides, and Shaq is personally involved in the menu development and quality control. The restaurant and franchise businesses alone generate millions of dollars in annual revenue for Shaq. And remember, he only invests in food he actually eats and enjoys. Number 8. Shaq is the second largest shareholder in Authentic Brands Group. Here's a massive deal most people don't know about. Shaq is the second largest individual shareholder in Authentic Brands Group, ABG, which is a company that owns and manages brand licenses for some of the biggest names in the world. ABG owns brands like Forever 21, Brooks Brothers, Reebok, Eddie Bauer, and many more. They acquire brands and then license them out for production, retail, and marketing. Shaq sold the rights to his own brand and likeness to ABG and became a major shareholder in the company. This was a genius move because instead of just licensing his own name, he now profits from the success of dozens of other major brands. ABG manages Shaq's personal brand licensing for everything from shoes to video games to action figures. But he also profits when Forever 21 has a good year or when Reebok sells shoes. This deal alone is estimated to have added over $100 million to Shaq's net worth in recent years. It's the kind of sophisticated business move that shows Shaq thinks way beyond just cashing checks. He builds long-term wealth through equity and ownership. Number 9. Shaquille turned down a $40 million Reebok deal for affordability. Early in his career, Shaq had a decision to make. Reebok offered him a massive endorsement deal to create a signature shoe line. The shoes would be expensive, $100 plus per pair, just like most signature basketball shoes. But Shaq turned it down. Instead, he went to Walmart and created an affordable shoe line that cost around $15 to $20 per pair. He wanted kids from families like his, families that couldn't afford expensive shoes, to be able to wear his shoes. Shaq has said that he couldn't stomach the idea of a single mother working 2 jobs having to tell her kid no because his shoes cost too much. So he took less money to make affordable shoes that everyone could buy. This decision cost him tens of millions of dollars in potential endorsement money. But it won him something more valuable: respect and loyalty from millions of families who appreciated that he cared more about them than maximizing his income. To this day, Shaq's affordable shoe line has sold millions of pairs. He's helped countless families save money while still giving their kids quality shoes. It's one of the most admirable business decisions any athlete has ever made. Number 10. Shaq made only 1 3-pointer in his entire NBA career. For all his dominance in the paint, Shaq was absolutely terrible at shooting 3-pointers. In fact, during his 19-year NBA career spanning 1,207 regular season games, Shaq attempted 22 3-pointers and made only 1. That's a 4.5% three-point shooting percentage. And that 1 3-pointer he made? It came on February 16, 1996, when he was playing for the Orlando Magic against the Milwaukee Bucks. Shaq knew his limitations. He wasn't trying to be Steph Curry. He dominated in the paint, used his size and strength to overpower defenders, and left the outside shooting to his teammates. His career free throw percentage of 52.7% shows that shooting just wasn't his forte. But here's the thing: Shaq didn't need to shoot threes. He was so dominant inside that it didn't matter. He averaged 23.7 points per game for his career, made 15 All-Star teams, won 4 championships, and is considered one of the greatest centers of all time. The fact that he only made 1 3-pointer in nearly 1,300 games is actually hilarious when you think about it. Most players would be embarrassed, but Shaq embraced it. He knew what he was good at, and he dominated in his own way. That's a lesson in itself. Know your strengths, play to them, and don't worry about what you can't do. Number 11. Shaq released a platinum rap album in 1993. In 1993, just 1 year after being drafted first overall by the Orlando Magic, Shaq did something most NBA players would never dream of. He released a rap album. And not just any album. Shaq Diesel went platinum, selling over 1 million copies. The album peaked at number 25 on the Billboard 200 and number 10 on R&B/hip-hop albums. His first single, What's Up Doc? Can We Rock? Featured Fushnikins and became a genuine hit on radio and MTV. Shaq didn't just dabble in music, he was serious about it. He released 4 rap albums total, with his second album, Shaq Fu Da Return, going gold. He collaborated with major artists like Notorious B.I.G., RZA, and Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest. But here's the kicker: Shaq is still making music today. He's now an electronic music producer and touring DJ known as DJ Diesel. That's right, the 7'1" Hall of Famer is out here spinning tracks at music festivals and nightclubs. He's performed at Tomorrowland, one of the world's biggest EDM festivals, and has regular DJ gigs in Las Vegas. Most NBA players might try music as a side hobby, but Shaq went platinum. That's the difference between trying something and dominating it, and Shaq always dominated. Number 12. Shaq has appeared in over 30 movies and TV shows. Shaquille O'Neal's acting career is extensive, even if it's not always award-winning. He's appeared in numerous films and starred in his own reality shows, including Shaq's Big Challenge and Shaq V's. Some of his most memorable movie roles include Blue Chips, 1994, his film debut alongside Nick Nolte; Kazam, 1996, where he played a rapping genie; Steel, 1997, a superhero film based on the DC Comics character; Scary Movie 4, 2006, Grown Ups 2, 2013. Now, let's be honest. Not all of these movies were critical successes. Kazam and Steel are often listed among the worst movies ever made, but Shaq didn't care. He was having fun, making money, and expanding his brand. He's also made countless TV appearances, from sitcoms to reality shows to commercials. He's hosted his own talk show, appeared on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and even wrestled in WWE multiple times. Shaq understood early that his personality and charisma could open doors beyond basketball. While some players focus solely on their sport, Shaq built an entertainment empire. He wasn't afraid to look silly or take risks, and that fearlessness has paid off massively. Number 13. Shaq has a doctorate degree in education. Here's something that surprises people. Shaq has a doctorate degree. In 2012, Shaquille O'Neal earned his doctorate in education from Barry University in Miami. His dissertation focused on the role of humor in leadership. But this wasn't an honorary degree or a celebrity favor. Shaq actually did the work. He attended classes, wrote papers, and completed his dissertation. He took education seriously because he knew he wanted to be more than just an athlete. Shaq also earned his undergraduate degree from Louisiana State University, LSU, in 2000, going back to complete his coursework after leaving early for the NBA. He promised his mother he would finish his degree, and he kept that promise. He later earned his MBA online from the University of Phoenix in 2005. So Shaq has a bachelor's degree, an MBA, and a doctorate. That's 3 degrees from a man who's also a 15-time NBA All-Star, 4-time NBA champion, and platinum hip-hop artist. Shaq has said that education was important to him because he wanted to set an example for his children and for young people who looked up to him. He wanted to show that being smart and educated is just as important as being a great athlete. And with his doctorate in education, he's qualified to be called Dr. O'Neal, though most people still just call him Shaq. Number 14. Shaq is a reserve police officer. One of the most surprising things about Shaq is that he's an actual law enforcement officer. He's a reserve police officer who has been sworn in by multiple police departments across the country. Shaq has been a reserve officer for the Los Angeles Port Police, the Miami Beach Police Department, and the Tempe Police Department in Arizona. He went through police academy training, earned his badge, and has the authority to make arrests. This wasn't just a publicity stunt. Shaq genuinely wanted to serve his community. He's gone on ride-alongs with officers, helped with community outreach programs, and used his platform to bridge the gap between police and the communities they serve. He's also trained with U.S. Marshals and has assisted with child recovery efforts. Shaq has used his size and fame to help capture fugitives and has worked with law enforcement on several cases. Why would a multi-millionaire NBA legend want to be a cop? Shaq has said it goes back to his upbringing with his military stepfather. He respects authority, discipline, and service. Being a reserve officer allowed him to give back and make a real difference beyond just writing checks. It's one of the most unique second careers any NBA player has ever had. And it's completely on brand for someone as unexpected and larger than life as Shaq. Number 15. Shaq spent over $1 million in one day after his first NBA paycheck.
So I thought I was getting $1 million straight up, but you forget about those things, so really I got about...
When Shaq got his first big NBA paycheck, he did what many young millionaires do. He went on a massive spending spree. In fact, Shaq has admitted that he spent over $1 million in a single day. He bought a Mercedes-Benz for himself, then bought one for his father. He splurged on jewelry, clothes, and all kinds of luxury items. It was the classic story of a young athlete who suddenly had more money than he knew what to do with. But here's what's different about Shaq. He learned from that mistake quickly. His business manager sat him down and explained how fast he could go broke if he kept spending like that. That wake-up call changed everything. From that point on, Shaq became obsessed with building wealth, not just spending it. He started investing wisely, learning about business, and thinking long-term. That one expensive lesson early in his career set him on the path to becoming one of the most financially successful athletes ever. Today, Shaq advises young athletes to be smart with their money. He tells them not to make the same mistakes he did. He teaches them about saving, investing, and building businesses that generate passive income. That $1 million day became a teaching moment that shaped the rest of his financial life. It's proof that mistakes aren't failures. They're lessons if you're willing to learn from them. Number 16. Shaq owns a movie theater in his hometown. Shaq never forgot where he came from. He owns a movie theater in Newark, New Jersey, his hometown, because he wanted to give back to the community that raised him. The theater provides entertainment and jobs in an area that desperately needs both. It's not just a business investment. It's a way for Shaq to stay connected to his roots and provide opportunities for people in his community. This is typical Shaq. He doesn't just make money, he uses his wealth to create value and opportunity for others. Whether it's affordable shoes for kids or a movie theater in Newark, Shaq consistently looks for ways to give back. Number 17, Shaq turned down Starbucks and it haunts him. Not every investment decision works out. Shaq has admitted that his worst investment decision ever was turning down an opportunity to invest in Starbucks early in the company's expansion. Howard Schultz, Starbucks' CEO, personally approached Shaq about becoming an early investor and franchise owner. Shaq said no because he didn't believe in it. He thought black people didn't drink coffee. That decision cost him potentially hundreds of millions of dollars. Starbucks exploded into a global phenomenon, and Shaq missed out completely. Shaq says that every time he walks past a Starbucks now, he mentally facepalms. He calls it his biggest financial regret and uses it as a teaching moment about not making assumptions and doing proper research before turning down opportunities. Even the smartest investors make mistakes. The key is learning from them and not repeating them. Number 18, Shaq has over 30 nicknames. Here's something that perfectly captures Shaq's personality. He has given himself over 30 different nicknames throughout his career. Some of the most famous include the Big Aristotle, the Diesel, Shaq Fu, the Big Shaqtus, Superman, the Big Daddy, Shaq Daddy, the Real Deal, Dr. Shaq, MDE, Most Dominant Ever, Wilt Chamberneezy, the Big Baryshnikov, and many, many more. Most athletes get nicknames from teammates, fans, or the media. But Shaq? He gave himself nicknames and made everyone call him by them. He'd announce a new nickname during interviews and insist that's what people should call him. It's hilarious, it's ridiculous, and it's totally Shaq. He never took himself too seriously. He knew how to market himself, have fun, and keep people entertained both on and off the court. Number 19. Shaq won't leave his fortune to his kids. Here's a controversial one. Despite having a $500 million net worth, Shaq has publicly stated that his kids aren't getting his fortune handed to them. Shaq believes his children need to earn their own way. He's said that if they want his money, they need to have a business plan, present it to him, and prove they can create value. He'll invest in their businesses if they make sense, but he's not just writing checks. This philosophy comes from his stepfather, who taught him that nothing in life is free. Shaq wants his kids to understand the value of hard work, entrepreneurship, and building something themselves. He'll provide education, opportunities, and guidance, but not a trust fund. His kids will have to prove themselves just like he did. It's a tough love approach that shows Shaq is more interested in raising capable, independent adults than spoiled rich kids. Number 20. Shaq still drives a 1997 Chevy Tahoe. Despite all his wealth and success, Shaq has remained surprisingly down-to-earth in many ways. For years after signing his first massive NBA contract, Shaq continued driving his 1997 Chevy Tahoe that he bought in high school. Even after signing a $94 million deal with the Spurs, he was spotted driving that same old Tahoe. He called it his gas guzzler and said it worked just fine, so why replace it? Eventually, friends and family pressured him to upgrade, and he bought a Porsche. But the fact that he drove that old Tahoe for so long shows that despite the mansions, the businesses, and the fortune, Shaq never lost sight of his humble beginnings. He didn't need flashy cars to prove his worth. He was secure in who he was, and that old Tahoe reminded him where he came from. So there you have it, 20 things you probably didn't know about Shaquille O'Neal. From his complicated family history to his $500 million business empire, from his platinum rap albums to his doctorate degree, from his smart investments to his charitable heart, Shaq is truly one of a kind. He's not just one of the greatest basketball players ever. He's one of the smartest businessmen in sports history. He dominated on the court, and he's dominated in life after basketball. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which fact surprised you the most. And let me know, what other NBA legends should I cover next? Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.